in the UAE, where there were no skyscrapers, but only the dunes of the desert. When there were no cars, but only camels. In that time, there was a woman, and her name was Yasmin. And Yasmin lived alone in the house with her daughter. Her daughter's name was Warda. So Yasmin lost her husband many years before, and she lived alone with her daughter. And Warda was a very intelligent, very curious, very beautiful young girl. She had long black hair. She had big and dark eyes, as big and dark as the night. She was thin and slim. And each and every day, early in the morning, Warda used to go to the desert to collect some sticks that she needs for the fire. And one day, in the morning, Warda went out to the desert to search for some sticks. And Yasmin, alone in the house, waited for her return. And she waited, and she waited, and she waited. But when the sun came down and the night arrived, Warda didn't come back home. Yasmin was desperate. She started searching for her daughter everywhere. She knocked to each and every door in the village, but nobody saw Warda. Yasmin went directly to the desert to search for her daughter, but in the desert there was nothing. And Yasmin searched for Warda everywhere, but she didn't find her. And very sad and lonely, she went back home. And time went by, and months went by, years went by, and Yasmin was alone in her house. And each and every day she thought of her daughter, Warda. And she cried, and she cried, and she cried. But one day, while she was cooking in the kitchen, she heard strange noises out of the door. She went to open the door. When she opened the door, she saw a dog. And the dog was very beautiful. It was a female dog. It had a black mantle, big and dark eyes, as big and dark as the night. The dog was thin and slim, and Yasmin decided to bring the dog into the home. And from that moment on, the dog followed Yasmin everywhere. When Yasmin had to go to the soup, the dog followed her to the soup. When Yasmin was cooking in the kitchen, the dog was sitting on the ground waiting for something to eat. When Yasmin slept in the night, the dog sleeping next to her. And time went by. But one day, some women of the village knocked at the door of Yasmin's house. And Yasmin invited them to enter, and they sat down and they started talking. And the women of the village said to Yasmin a very strange thing. They said to her that the night before, a mysterious woman was entering into the garden of her house. And they said that the mysterious woman was Warda. When Yasmin heard the name of Warda, she started screaming and shouting, please, my daughter disappeared into the desert many years before. I don't know where she is. Please, don't say the name of Warda anymore. Now, in the village where Yasmin lived, there was a sheikh. And the sheikh was a very handsome young man. And he was looking for a beautiful young woman to marry. And so, one day, the sheikh of the village decided to organize a banquet into the palace. And he decided to invite all the women of the village with their mothers. And when the women of of the village knew this king. They prepared in the best way. They wore their best dress. They painted their hands with the henna, and they perfumed the body with the oud.
Just listen, huh?
And with their mothers, they went to the palace of the sheikh. And when they entered the palace of the sheikh, they sat down during the majlis and they started eating delicious food. But in that moment, the sheikh and his mother, the sheikha, noticed a very strange thing. They noticed a mysterious woman entering the palace. And the mysterious woman was alone. Her face was covered by a dark veil. And the mysterious woman went to sit so far from the other girls. The mother of the sheikh was very, very furious. She stood up, she went directly to the woman and she asked her, "Whose daughter are you?" At that moment, the mysterious woman stood up and she started running. And the sheikh started following her. They ran all over the village. They ran. And the sheikh followed the woman everywhere, but the woman ran faster and faster. And the sheikh ran following her. But all of a sudden, the woman entering into the garden of Yasmin's house. And the sheikh started looking at the woman. And he saw a very, very strange thing. He saw the woman turning into a dog. The next day, the sheikh knocked at the door of Yasmin's house. And when Yasmin opened the door, she recognized the sheikh in person. She invited him to enter. She offered him the dates and the coffee. But the sheikh didn't want anything. And the only one thing that he said was, "I want to marry your daughter." Yasmin thought that he was crazy. "I want to marry your daughter." Yasmin started laughing. "Majesty, are you sure?" "Yes, I want to marry your daughter, because your daughter is your daughter, Warda." And again, when Yasmin heard the name of Warda, she started crying. And she said, "Please, Majesty, don't say the name of Warda anymore. My daughter Warda disappeared many years before into the desert. Please, don't say her name anymore." But the prince, the sheikh, said to her that the dog and Warda were the same thing. And so Yasmin agreed to the marriage, and Warda, as a dog, went to live to the palace of the sheikh. And during the first night, while they were sleeping in the bed, Warda, as a dog, woke up and silently she took off the dog's skin. And she took the dog's skin from the ground and she went downstairs into the courtyard of the palace. And the sheikh noticed her and he decided to follow her to the courtyard of the palace. And when he arrived to the courtyard of the palace, he saw Warda lit a fire. And when the flames of the fire were high, Warda threw the dog's skin into the flames. And the flames became dark as the night. And in that right moment, the sheikh understood everything. He understood that Warda was under the spell of an evil witch. And from that moment on, Warda lived as a woman ever after. And what about her mother, Yasmin? Yasmin lived next to her daughter Warda into the palace of the sheikh.